Hello viewers, it's Ultimate Cyber here, and today I'm doing reviewed number 20, and I'm going to be reviewing Guardians of the Galaxy, the fourth movie in Phase 2 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and the 10th Marvel movie overall.
Now, last week I said that I was going to be reviewing Avengers Age of Ultron for number 20, reviewed. However, I did not realize that Age of Ultron didn't come out until after Guardians of the Galaxy, which is the movie I'm going to be reviewing this week. So apologies, I'm sorry, but I just forgot. I assumed it was coincident from Captain America the Winter Soldier to Avengers Age of Ultron. Why? I don't know. Well, because at the end of Captain America Winter Soldier, you have a tease that says Captain America will return in Avengers Ultron. So, there you go. So I'm sorry, I will not be reviewing Age of Ultron this week. It'll be Guardians of the Galaxy, but next week I will definitely be reviewing it. Sorry, but I just forgot. Because I didn't think, I thought that Avengers Age of Ultron came after Winter Soldier and then called like Guardians of the Galaxy. I didn't even think about Guardians of the Galaxy. So anyway, yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy. This was a really different movie than I'm used to. This is a different movie than most movies in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. First of all, it's not set in any place that you're familiar with. It's actually the first movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe that is in space. And yes, it is part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Even though we're not seeing the Avengers, you see Thanos, who is the same character as is the same character as in the Avengers. Although that was a different actor, but he's still the same character. So it's all connected. So it's the same kind of idea. It's still got you still got the Infinity Stones. More reference to that, kind of like how it is. It's definitely a better one. It's much more funny. This is actually my it's not my favorite Marvel Cinematic Universe movie, but definitely is one of my favorite funny ones. I guess it's like my favorite, the one that I just have so many laughs at. It has amazing score. Especially the theme music, like when you see the logo pop up, it's just awesome. The cast was fantastic. They had an awesome cast. Chris Pratt did a phenomenal job. I love Chris Pratt. He's awesome. He's one of many awesome actors. One of many of my favorite actors to play a role like that. He played Emmett in the Lego Movie, which came out the same year actually. I think it actually came out earlier, or yeah, I think it came out earlier in the year. I may be wrong about that, but it was really good. There was a character called Ronan the Accuser who was in this movie that, I mean, like I said before, many times, I should not remind you, I've not read the comics, I don't know anything about the characters until I see them on the screen, and I learn about them. But apparently, this character was played by Lee Pace, who played Thranduil, or whatever his name is. He played basically Legolas' father in the Hobbit trilogy. And he was in this movie with a different character, obviously. But it was a great movie. It was very emotional, especially at the very beginning when Peter Quill, also known as Star-Lord in the movie, because he basically he's Star-Lord because that's basically outlaw name / code name or whatever. This is mascot and the Star-Lord. And then he has this kind of like plasma pistol-ish kind of weapon. Kind of seems that way. But it was emotional because you have Peter Quill, who his mother is dying, she's dying of cancer, considering that her head is shaved, so she's dying, and that's like emotional. And so this is the first step. This is actually emotional. Well, not to say that last week's episode of Reviewed was emotional enough. I mean, in terms of the movie, that that was big emotional. But this was like really, really wow, powerful because whenever you see this kid who just like doesn't even know what to do because his mom just died or whatever. And then she gives him a little cassette tape that has the Awesome Mix Volume 2 on it. And that's just a little thing. But there was so much in this movie I loved. I loved Groot, and Rocket Raccoon. Groot was my favorite character. Honestly, he is. I like Chris Pratt Star-Lord, but I do like Groot a lot because he's just awesome. Especially when Rocket is explaining why he does that. It's like a certain thing in his memory originally where he's only able to say a few words of I am and Groot, which is kind of funny. But there's so much in this movie. There's so many hilarious scenes in there. There's actually a really funny scene where you have you have Star Lord and you have Drax who's on the team, and uh, he's saying I'm gonna do this to you, and then like Drax like why would I put my finger on my neck, um, and he was like, everyone knows that's that you're gonna die sign because Drax just doesn't know anything because he's that person currently. But it was so funny. Uh, there's just a lot of the movie I loved. There was a scene where you have Star Lord's little music player on on this one of the guys takes the music player and he puts it on and he has the music. He's like, that's then Star Lord's like, that's mine. Get back, that's mine. And so it was so funny. Um, Also, just Rocket Raccoon, the character Rocket Raccoon was so funny. I loved it. It's just amazing. It was so much in the movie I loved. The whole like I think one great scene is where you have all the Guardians kind of like coming together, and as the music starts playing, the theme music starts playing, and all of the Guardians parts start coming together. That was awesome. Uh, there's also this is a really interesting fact with the movie was that Karen Gillan, who you may know her to play Amy Pond in Doctor Who, Series 5 to Series 7. And she had to shave her whole head for the role, and she ended up putting a wig on for the remainder of her Doctor appearances. Actually, she only had to do one more appearance, but she was wore a wig for that. But she had to shave her entire head for this role because Nebula was supposed to be this bald girl or bald lady, whatever you want to call her. And it's just so funny. There's actually a really great scene where Chris Pratt, sorry, Chris Pratt's character, Solo was in the little room where John C. Reilly's character is like telling the guard person about each member of the team or whatever, and suddenly he starts doing this. The classic thing ever. I think everyone knows this. The thing where he's like, where he starts doing this, and then he's like, and then he basically has the middle finger, and he's like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know how this thing worked. That was funny, and also John C. Reilly's character was great too. That was just awesome. There was a lot about the movie I liked. The Stanley cameo was pretty crazy. I was just like, wow, I didn't expect that because that's the last thing I expected to see him. To see him was in that. Um, just the whole movie itself was great. I love the characters in this movie. I love how Jackson Story thinks that, or is after Ronan, who because he believes that Ronan killed his family or something like that. And at the end, I think a little more than halfway through the movie, Ronan says he doesn't remember killing anybody. Um, and then he said, but then later in the movie, towards the end, he says, "No, no, no, no." How can I say wait a minute. Now I think I do remember doing something with their family. I can't remember. It was pretty crazy like that. but there was a lot of this. It just felt so. It's a definitely a different movie than the Avengers universe. I mean, it's the same universe, but it's like a different it's like different side of the universe basically. There's one part of the universe that's the Avengers, and the other side of the movie is the Guardians of the Galaxy. That was just it was awesome. The team itself is way awesome. You got Zoe Saldana, who plays Uhura in the new Star Trek movies. And she plays a character called Gamora, who is this basically this green-skinned lady person who is basically the sister of Nebula, who's I guess after the same thing she is or something. I can't remember how it goes. But they're all kind of like doing something. I think they're all doing something for Corona or something like that. Um, oh, that reminds me. There's a scene in the movie where it's actually my favorite scene that because it has Thanos in it, and it's all about Thanos. And you can just see how tough Thanos is because it's like the first time you actually see him like tough. Like oh my gosh, this is Thanos. This is who he is. He's a really bad guy. Uh, and he's like something about like your politics for me. You, like something like that. It was just like a lot of the stuff is just like crazy. Um, because the whole I think my favorite scene is the Thanos scene because that was awesome because that's the first time you actually see Thanos. Other than the cameo at the end of the Avengers, although that doesn't really count. I didn't like that one. I think I've mentioned that before, but I think I mentioned that before on the Madhouse, but I haven't actually. I didn't like the new Thanos at first. I mean, he's growing on me, but I just didn't like him. I mean, I'm talking about well, no, I didn't like the new one. I liked the old one, the one that you saw like, as a credit as an uncredited or uncredited cameo, I think, um, of Thanos. And you don't even see him speak. You see someone talking at the end of the Avengers where he says like humans and like that. Something with them is like John would quote would is to quote that or something like that. And then yeah, Thanos still good. I guess something like that. I don't know. But then in this movie, you see him in a whole different way. You see him actually like physical and speaking and awesome. Um, he just he's so awesome. And then of course at the end of the scene when the camera zooms out and you see him smiles like it's that that was funny. That was like oh my god, he's so crazy. I mean, because because his name's the Mad Titan, so you know he's like crazy. Um, but anyway, yeah. So there's a lot about this movie I love. There's a whole scene with Star Lord and Gamora where he gives her his music and she like listens to it. It's like really heartwarming. Um, there's also a character. I think it's the guy with the blue with the blue mohawk thingy. Um, I can't remember his name, but he's this character that he basically raised Star Lord. I'm pretty sure. I think that's how it goes. I can't remember. I mean, it hasn't been that long since the movie, considering I'm able to go on this long. But I just can't remember some of these names. Comment below if you remember. I mean, I'll probably look it up after the recording here, but I I just can't remember out the top of my head. Oh, okay, now I remember. Yondu. Yondu, that's the character. Sorry, it just coming to me now. Yondu. So yeah, Yondu is the character that I'm basically saying that he raises Star Lord and he's like after him or something like that. I can't remember, but he's really creepy. He actually he does they actually play Yondu. Actually made an appearance in Jumper, which I recently reviewed a couple of weeks ago with the Down guy. So that was pretty cool. Um, but yeah, he's in this movie along with the people, along with other people. This whole like scene where they're all like getting ready to fight or something like that. Also, Glenn Close is in this movie. She plays Nova Prime, um, and I guess she's like the galactic leader or something like that. And if you don't know who Glenn Close is, she plays Belle DeVille in the two live action movies they made based off of Disney's 101. And then she's also on two animations. Um, and she played that character. pretty nasty. But yeah, so um, yeah, there's a lot of other movies I liked. There's so much in this movie I liked. There's a whole scene with the collector in it. That was awesome because um, you see the collector. I mean, you saw the collector at the end of For the Dark World, but that was it. You saw a post-credit scene with the collector in it. But that was it. But you see you see in this movie you see a whole thing with I think it's a space dog or something like that. I can't remember the name of it. But this whole space dog thing. Basically declared this space person who collects all these things from different. Well, the idea is that he's supposed to be collecting all these things from different parts of the universe that have to do with the comics, like everything that you see in the collector's room, who's played by Benicio del Toro, whatever his name is. Yeah. So there's a whole bunch of things in the cases that each have something to do with the comics. Like they each have it's like they're all Easter egg. They have to do something with the comics. Like all the characters in there are the comics. There's even a Chitauri from the Avengers in there. But yeah, there's a really crazy thing. Also, there's these green ladies who actually the first time you see the green girls are in Star-Lord's ship, basically, which is pretty awesome. Um, that's the first time you see Yondu, I'm pretty sure. There's also the very beginning of the movie. There's a scene where, uh, yeah, it's really really funny because he's like hopping around and dancing to music. Um, but it's the first time you see him like get to the orb, which contains the reality thing. I think the reality gem or something like that, which contains the I don't even know how it goes. It was one of the gems, space gem. I don't know. It's called the orb or something. It's basically called the orb. I think it's either the reality gem or the space gem. I don't know, one of the two. Um, but yeah, so there's a scene where he's basically stealing that in the very beginning of the movie, and there's a bunch of guards um, who are like saying stop, it's like stop, like drop her off the like something like that. So yeah, there's a whole like all these guards who are like saying drop or something like that. And he's like, okay, man, all right, and then he drops it, and he's like, it's like uh, a Peter Quill or like that. And so that was awesome. It was a really great scene because they're like, and then because he eventually gives up and he's like, okay, let me know, but don't moan me by their name. He's like Star Lord, and they're like, and the guy that's like the guy that's like there, he's like, who? He's like Star Lord, man, legendary outlaw. And then he jumps out and he's the mask and he gets the mask on and then just jumps out. I thought it was awesome. It was actually a really good scene. That was one of many scenes I love about the movie because it's such a really good movie. It really is. It's a really really good movie. Um, there's so much in this movie I want that I can talk about. Trying to think in the other movies. There's a scene where Rocket is drunk from this like blue drink, like blue liquid stuff, or I don't know what it is, but he basically he's drunk and he's getting in a fight, which is pretty crazy. In Star Lord like trying to get him to quit it, and he's like, "Dude, you're drunk, don't do that," and that was crazy. There's also a really sad moment towards the end of the movie where Groot dies apparently, and he basically puts himself over everyone in the team, and um, I'm alive. He's like I'm alive or something like that. Um, no, he said no. He said we are Groot. He said he said we are Groot, which is awesome because Vin Diesel voices Groot. I don't know Vin Diesel. He's been in many movies before. Only one I've actually, well, I haven't seen it, but I have heard of it. It's Fast and Furious. Like the only thing I've seen it. At least like well, not seen it, but like see the previews. But the point is, he was in that. It was really emotional. There was also a dance off scene. That was that was awesome because you see him dancing. I was like, come on, bro, dance off. That was awesome. Uh, The big battles where Star-Lord is in the ship and he's like battling. That was great. Um, there's just a whole lot of action in it, a lot of stuff. It was one of the scenes that just that took time, and it was amazing. It really was. The score itself of the movie was great. The casting was great. The acting was great. I loved everything about it. The fact that Thanos was in it was awesome too. I love Norman. He was really good. Karen Gillan's character was awesome. John C. Reilly's character was really awesome. Uh, I love that being a really good scene was where he's talking. He's like introducing everyone in the thing, and that was just so cool. Uh, but yeah, there's a lot of this movie I like. Like I said before, a lot of the lights. There's a great scene where Gamora has to basically sort of sacrifice her life for Star-Lord, and so basically she slips out of the pod and goes on to rescue him, and she's like out cold and like that. It's emotional. I mean, there's some pretty emotional stuff in this movie. I gotta say, it really is emotional. It gets really emotional. I mean, not like over excessive, but it definitely does get emotional. Far less emotional than far more emotional than Captain America: Winter Soldier, definitely. Um, but it definitely was a great movie. I'd highly recommend it. It was really good. Um, and they're actually making a sequel. They're filming it right now. Yeah, right now. I'm filming it right now. Um, so that'll be really awesome. Uh, but there's so much in this movie I like, and it was just really awesome. There's a really great scene where they're on the on this like bunker, it's like a prison ground or something like that, and Rocket beats some guy's leg, and Star-Lord gets the leg, and he brings it to me, and he's like, oh, I'm joking, I was and he's like, yeah, there's a little scene, like a 5-second scene um, he's like, where the guy with the leg, and then Star-Lord goes in, he's like, you need what now, or something like that, um, and then he gets the leg, and then he's like, alright, you leg, and then Rocket's like, I don't really need the joke. I'm joking. Like that. That was like so funny. It was funny. It really was. It was a great scene. There's just a lot about the movie I loved. There's a whole scene where you have Rocket en route, who's basically firing everything. That was awesome. That was a great scene. There's another scene where Groot is on the ship and he's like, there's two, like an army of guys out here, and he's like, that, and he just smashes them all through it. That was a great scene. Um, but yeah, I mean, it was great. It was like another scene towards the very end of the movie where everyone was, except Groot was like standing all together, and Ronan's like, "What are you? Or who are you?" And he's like, we're the Guardians of the Galaxy." That was so epic. Uh, But yeah, there's a lot about the movie I like. I can't really. I mean, there's a lot to say that I can't if I can remember it all, but there was a lot about the movie I liked. The score was beautiful. It was just amazing. It's just so good. Definitely was more of a touch out of the Marvel universe. It was definitely in the Marvel universe, but it was like a different side of the universe because there's like, I guess it's like not it's because like everything else takes place on Earth or Asgard or whatever. But this is the first time it actually takes place in a different like area of the universe. Because it still takes place in the Avengers universe, but it's like a different part of that universe. I mean, obviously, they're gonna come back for Infinity War, but like it's still the same universe. The casting was amazing. Like I said before, I just loved it so much. I love Rocket. Rocket's great. I mean, I can't really say name my favorite characters. I like all of them really, but to name a few, I like Groot a lot. I like Rocket a lot. They were really, really good. They're just so amazing. They really are. They're just like awesome. So yeah, I mean, there's not a whole lot else I can think of about the movie. It was just phenomenal. It really was. I just loved it, and I'm glad they're making a sequel because it deserves a sequel. Um, because there's a lot about the movie we don't know yet, like who Star-Lord dead apparently, because his mom died at the beginning of the movie. That was a thing. There's a lot of action in the movie, a lot of good acting. More a lot of the action is in the movie. Um, it's just like so much awesomeness. Because this whole thing with Karen Gillan's character was an assassin. We have the Morgan's also an assassin, I guess. But that was just awesome. There's apparently there's a really cool there's a really cute scene at the end of the movie where I think it's the post credit scene or something like that, or towards the it's like, I think it's supposed to be like like within the credits where you have because Groot died in the movie, so you have at the very end of the movie you have little Groot deciding to become a Groot again because Groot is technically indestructible, I guess, but like he can get destroyed but rebuild himself, which is pretty cool. Um, so, like, there's a scene where Drax is sharpening his weapon or his blade or something like that, and you see Groot start to dance, and then you see Drax go like this, and then the moment he does that, Groot's totally still, and then does it again. It keeps repeating. It's really quite funny. Um, there's a lot of other movies. It was just a great movie. I loved it. The characters were good. The plot was really well done. I loved the acting. Um, the music was phenomenal. The casting was great, especially like all the actors I recognized. About the movie. The Stanley Cameo was really good. The Stanley Cameo actually he was Rocket, and he was scanning all different areas, and then he was looking at it was like it was a younger woman with Stanley, and he had his little glasses on. It was really cool because like Stanley was has glasses on whenever in the movie. But it was really good. There's just so much of this movie that was good. I mean, obviously since it's a review, I can't really like say everything, but I can definitely say um, about the movie I liked. I just loved it. I mean, it wasn't my favorite, but it definitely was a really good one. They did a really good job at it, and I really am glad they're making a sequel to it because it just did a really good job. Um, Especially the characters they had. I mean, really weird ones, and just the really crazy ones. The scenes were the scenes they had in the movie were great. I just loved them. They were just awesome. Um, So yeah, I think that about does it for this week's episode. I can't really think of anything else that I really want to say about the movie. I thought it was awesome and it was just great. I would rate it a 9 out of 10. Why? Well, um, I don't know. Just kind of. I don't. I feel like it's one of the movies that doesn't really need all the stars. I think it just. I think that it just. I just felt like. Well, I guess I felt like it was the overuse of the fact that actually I think first reason is because Thanos didn't get very much scenes. I mean, it was quite a lot, but didn't do a lot. I didn't appreciate the fact that Groot only had 3 lines. That just didn't take away from the movie a lot. Um, and I mean, you don't really see Star Lord be the Star Lord. I don't know what I'm saying. But yeah, that's all I can say. Really, that's it. Um, anyway, thank you for watching this week's episode of Review. If you liked it, then please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more content um, and more videos, meaning content is videos. Um, like this, of course. And as I promised, beginning of this episode, I will be doing a review of Marvel's Avengers Age of Ultron, or just Avengers Age of Ultron, however you want to say it. Um, yeah, so Avengers Age of Ultron will be next week's episode. I promise. I know I said it would be this week's. Like, well, I know last week I said that it would be this week, but I forgot the whole timeline thing about when it came out. So there you go. So yeah. Anyway, that'll do it. I hope you'll enjoy this. Yeah. So that'll do it. All right. See ya.